So here's the Hennessy system I've used. It's not, sorry, I'm tired. Here's the East Hills Outdoors system I've used. This was about £60 I think for both, for the hammock and the fly. You could buy it without the rain fly, but I thought, well, what's the point? I'll have to buy a separate rain fly. So it's got this 4-point system, which I think I realise now I'd prefer something with a few more grommets in it, maybe halfway along each of the lengths, just to give you a little bit more flexibility. Last night I did put this stick in at this end just to raise one end up a little bit without having to run the guy rope really long down there. I could see myself tripping up over that if I did that. I did manage a little fire, which actually turned out pretty nicely, and I used birch bark for it, which is obviously well known amongst people who are used to this, but for me it was a bonus. I brought some with me. There aren't any birch. There aren't any silver birch, I don't think. In these woods I can't spot the telltale bark, so I brought some with me, and thanks to my friend Paul, I picked that up as a tip recently for starting fires. Brought a little stool, which is good because there's no logs just nearby, but I found this little clear patch, which was handy. I don't think it's been used for fire before. In fact, I don't think it's regular that people sleep in here. Doesn't look like it. I haven't spotted any evidence. So back to the tent. Yeah, I used the little stick. That's worked okay. The East Hills Outdoors comes with the tree straps, which makes it very easy. And I've used a little toggle there in this knot to stop, make sure that doesn't go through. Although it wouldn't slip anyway. But the toggle just helps. That was a good tip from one of the videos. I should name names, but I can't remember. Watched so many of them. Also, I realised that in here, there's actually 2 hoops on either side, and you have 2 lines that come across and keep that more like a square box shape. But last time I used this, I tried it out once. I didn't sleep in it, but I just tried it out. There were bungee cords. I couldn't work out what they were for, and I've watched the video of how to put this up again and realised that that's what they were for, and I've forgotten them. I've put them somewhere else. So I just about had enough little lengths of rope, and this is a guy rope, spare one, to put them all together and just at least have one line, but there should be 2 lines coming along here for the net, which the one line worked fine. It kept it out of my face. I put my rucksack in a bin bag. Didn't quite fit, so I'm glad it didn't rain. The top would have been sticking out. I put my boots in another black bag as well, underneath the hammock. What's the setup inside? Right, so because I'm an absolute beginner and I haven't got the budget to just buy everything all at once, starting from the bottom, I got a tip for cold weather camping to use this stuff, which is basically bubble wrap coated in silver, and it's insulation. You can buy it. I bought it on a roll from B&Q. Other stores are available. 7 metres for about, or was it 9 metres for about £7? £7. It's pretty cheap. It is literally bubble wrap, but the outer is silver. I also bought a camping mat that was really cheap from a discount store, B&M Bargains. Other discount stores are available. I bought that yesterday for about £4. So that's also, I bought that because it had silver on the back of it as well, and I thought, yep, those 2 together should work. What I did was, this only comes in 0.6 of a metre, okay? And one of the videos I saw, which is very helpful that this community exists, suggested having flaps on the outer because what happens in the night is you move, and therefore this stuff moves. So they suggested, why don't you... Hang on. Okay. They said, why don't you put flaps on the side to make it wider? So that's what I did. I actually cut a whole length, though, instead of flaps. I cut the whole length again. So this is this is a metre now, just under a metre wide. Now that worked really well, except I did slide, and it did move, and I woke up cold on my back, and after I turned over to that side and realised that it was down here somewhere. So I would try that again, but I may even add another bit of flap onto the other side, although it seems plenty wide enough, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't really want to add more width there. This is a really cheap sleeping bag. Don't even know if it's a one season, to be honest. Really cheap one, but it's all I've got, so that's why I said at the beginning. This is a pillow I bought, which is quite handy. It packs up small, and you can put t-shirt or some other stuff in there to bulk it up. It worked fine for me as it was. And this is a picnic blanket, and again I did buy some fleecy blankets yesterday to put on top. I was trying to think what would be the warmest, and then I realised that a picnic blanket has, again, like this foil backing, so I decided to put that over myself, and it worked. I don't know if it was any better than just fleecy blankets, but it worked. So I might try the blankets next time instead and see what I feel best about. Obviously the blankets would be more comfortable, I think, probably. And I think that's all, so I'm fairly happy with that at 9 degrees. As for any colder, I don't know. Maybe a little bit colder it could take. But I'm fairly pleased because it saves me buying an underblanket. I believe, I'm not from videos, the underblanket goes right underneath there. But they're not cheap. I'd rather buy a decent sleeping bag and keep using this setup for a while, I think. Plus we're going into summer now, so there shouldn't be that many cold nights. So overall, I'm glad I had these bits of length of line just to hold the mozzie net up, and I'll get that cord packed for next time so I can have the proper box shape. Oh, sleeping. So I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3". I moved down in the night, I think, and I actually struggled to get comfortable a lot. And I had in mind how much people talk on the videos about on YouTube about saying that hammock camping is the most comfortable camping.